Very good. Morning, everyone. We start with our prayers. Om Asato Ma Satkamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Divine Mother, take us from unreal to real in this life itself. Bless us with wisdom and take us from darkness of ignorance to light. Mother, take us from death to immortality. May everyone be blessed, be protected from all evils. May each and every one be blessed with the divine power of the Supreme Brahman within our own self and by the theistic beliefs by the gods and goddesses and the wisdom of knowledge by our Guru. Jai Guru. Today's topic is very interesting and we're going to touch on several things. And I'm certain and I hope that all of you are ready. You see, what has happened is right from the beginning and for thousands of years in every almost religion, this question keeps coming up in the minds and in the heart of the people. That if God really exists, then why do we suffer? There is a young medical student is writing, I'm working in this hospital, in the medical college, and I see every day young mothers losing their baby and a heart-wrenching cry, and I stand there helpless. I don't know what to do. Is God crazy? Is God mad? Is a God real, like an absolute merciless leader up in the sky and saying, it doesn't matter. After all, they come from me and they're going to come back to me. It doesn't matter if they cry a little bit. Another gentleman is writing, if we are Brahman, we are Advaitavadi, and the God is within us, then who do we pray to? Brahman is supposed to be everywhere. Who do I pray to? Who do I seek for my protections? And particularly this current crisis of the COVID-19, and how do we protect ourselves and my family members? And laying off of the job and the financial problems. Is God really cruel? God is not really bothered? These are the questions that have been coming for thousands of years. I'm going to share with you all some important slides and let us take up the journey. To start with, we will share the slides with you. These words, your thoughts, we are going to amalgamate them. Why do these things happen to us? And these words actually are very powerful. What you think, what you talk, we do not realize it. We say it, oh, I just said it like that. We also do not hold on to the power which has been given to us as a complete package. We are a perfect package. We have everything within us. But you know what? I often talk to our boys and girls, and you have seen the result. Newspaper Times of India is going gaga. IB is going gaga about it. Shada ma'am and her team is doing fantastic work with which they're becoming world toppers. Just think, to you and me, we were also very good children, intelligent, hardworking, sincere, loyal. We wasted our time through musti and things like that. No teacher really came down and told us, hey, Robin Ghosh, you know what? If you promise to work with me, I'll make you a state champion. Just promise, I'll show you. It's fun. Forget about India champion. State champion, okay. But for cricket, for tennis, for badminton, for squash, for roller skating and becoming a beauty champion, world beauty, it's okay. That was possible. So what I do is I give it to our kids. I talk to them, and my team is continuously, Shada ma'am with the core team is working towards them, giving them a very simple what I'm discussing with you. And time and again and again and again for the last 24 years, we are seeing what a great power. These words have great power. And now we are coupling it with the suffering and understanding the suffering. So let's start with just the simple thing. We give them a little A4 size sheet. You tell them, prepare it for about 12 to 15 of them and write down, let's say, perfect 100% mark in MBIP 5. Some of you are already, as parent, are fully aware, is 56. 5 and 6, 56. If somebody scores 56, no mistake, no error, 100%. And for DP, Diploma 11 and 12, graduation, junior grad, it is 4 and 5, 45. I tell our children, you don't have to work hard. I don't want you to work hard. And they say, sir, we have to work very hard to score perfect number. I say, no, you don't have to work hard. You have to just become aware. They say, how, sir? I say, very simple. Tell me, let's say I'm talking to a girl student. Are you a girl? They say, yes, sir. How do you know that? So I've grown up with it, my body features and my genetical. I'm aware. I know I'm a girl. I said, what is that? They say, I know I'm a girl. I asked the boy, are you a boy? He said, yes, sir. I said, are you sure? He said, come on, sir. Of course I know I'm a boy. I said, how do you know that? He said, sir, we just know it. I said, fantastic. And this is what I want all of you. Write that down 5 or 6 or 45 and know that you are perfect 56. You are perfect 45, depending on which assessment you're appearing for. You and I were never guided. We knew a little bit of goal setting and things like that as we grew up in our professional life. And we knew how to make smart goal. You remember? Smart goal, a very simple target, measurable for M, A for achievable, R for rewarding, and like that, time bound was the N, smart goals. We knew all that, but here it is not like that. It is like, I know I'm a human child. I'm not a donkey, I'm not a monkey. That's how the powerful the words are. And just say, and we keep on reinforcing that thought again and again, weekly, fortnightly, every day. And look at the wonder what human children can do. You and I, as senior members, as parents of children, as teachers of children, and also as children, we can easily break through all shackles and the barriers of little inhibitions which we have been forced to grow up with. You can't do it. You can give it to your sister. She's very good. Or give it to your elder brother. He is very good. Or give it to the neighbor's child or some other story. We are saying now, let him be anything. Set the goal, be with it, and most important, very important, believe in it. You and I, as devotees, as spiritual seekers, need to believe in what we are going to take it up. Let's take on the journey. This coming in with this suffering. Why is this suffering there so much? Obviously, what we are not expecting, and when that happens to us, and what causes us pain, whether bodily pain or psychological, spiritual pain, we are on that. When we say, reflect with me, okay, that when God is there, why is this suffering? What am I saying actually? Concept of God in you and me is what? This concept, by the way, over thousands of years is changing. From Judah's time, you all have read, seen the movies, Noah's Ark. What was it? Generally, we thought God is all kind, all righteous, very good, and God is supreme, powerful. We are small creature, God is very powerful creature. We are susceptible to coronavirus and various other sickness and disease and poverty and death. God is absolutely immune to everything. So God is all powerful and God is very kind and loving. With this, with the righteous God came the Noah's Ark principle. So what did God do? God saw that there are a lot of not righteous things happening on this earth. So what did he choose? He said, let's erase them, seek specimens of two of each kind of animals and plants and the human beings and all, and bring them. And Noah's family also went in. And now we will create a new world. By the way, if you have done a little study, in the Babylonian time, the similar story was there. Names are not as easy as the Noah, Judah's in time. Easy to remember, very difficult names, are similar like a story with a big difference. And the big difference was the God up there was very powerful, but God was cruel. And God said, it doesn't matter. So what did God say? You human beings are making, as per the Babylonian story, that these humans are making too much of noise and creating a lot of nonsense. Mark you. Many would shake their head and he said, even now. No. You all are divine, you all are beautiful, and so are even the worst of the enemy. The fact that you see a bad person or somebody who's not behaving appropriate, that fact that you are seeing it, it means you can change that person. So what did in Babylonian time God do? God created similar kind of a boat, similarly 2 by 2 created animals and plants and human beings. But he said, I'm flooding the whole earth and I'm killing, destroying everyone because they make too much of sound, too much of noise. This is how it has been explained. I'm going to create a new world which will be peaceful, silent, no noise. As if the human beings were disturbing God from his sleep. So let's take it on from there. Notice in this suffering which is there is one gentleman, his name is Dr. Arthur Hyman. And he went ahead and written a book on the glimpses of evil on Indian thoughts. The glimpses of evil in Indian thoughts, Arthur Hyman. This Professor Arthur Hyman has given 23 reasons why there are suffering. They're all generally all religion is trying to explain why they're suffering when God is there. And here you say 23, I thought it cannot be answered. No, the beauty is in the Vedanta, it is answered beautifully, powerfully. So as in some of the theistic religions. The Arthur Heyman's 23 of them, if you get that book and start reading it, I would recommend don't read because it didn't gel with me, any one of them. One of them was this, the butterfly and the moth, that caterpillar becoming a butterfly. The caterpillar has to go through cutting through the inner cocoon and then become the butterfly. So it has to pass through pain. So it is towards character development. My question came up straight away. All right, why are you giving pain to that baby? Why are you giving pain to that little insect which is being eaten up by the lizard? Why are you giving pain to that little deer which is being pounced upon by the tiger or the leopard? It goes on various examples. It's talking about you have to have faith in God and know whatever God does, God is doing for your good. It is going on to say that you should pray, that if you pray with faith, there will be no suffering. And the cause of the suffering is because you have no faith in your prayers. It goes on to give the theory of the karma, which is Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, Hinduism, and many other isms talk about that if you do good, good things will happen to you. If you do bad, bad things will happen to you. This is the closest of it out of all the 23 examples that comes in with the, you know, there is Houston Smith, Professor Smith. He is recently left his body. And in Bhagavad Gita, God talks to Arjuna. So if you have the book, in page 246, chapter 2, verse 31, in the fourth and the fifth para, Dr. Houston Smith, who is supposed to be a great philosopher and world historian, his name is mentioned. He's such a famous. His books are even today in most of the top universities in the world, like Harvard and Stanford, etc., are utilizing it. Professor Smith was very much in love with God. So something strange happened, a beautiful thing. Professor Smith was very fond of his 12 years old granddaughter. And sadly, the granddaughter one day, prayers for her and Professor, though he's no more, was hit by a truck coming back from the church. And Professor Smith was totally devastated. And he was a very God caring, not God fearing, but God loving. And in one of his, after a few days, one of the journalists came down and said, Dr. Professor Smith, sir, tell me, after your granddaughter has died out of that accident, that too coming from a church, do you still believe in God? And this Christian lady who is mentioning this incident, it is recorded. She has a beautiful way of narrating the way Houston Smith was talking. He said, she said, Professor Smith said, millions of people are dying on this earth every day. There are 250,000 to 500,000 of mothers are becoming childless. Fathers are losing their son. And just because I have lost my granddaughter, you ask me whether I still have faith in God? And the lady said, he went ahead and said, how absurd, how absurd. Now, this is true faith in understanding. Gautam Buddha, he talked about the fact that you're human, suffering has to be there. But he said, wait, and you recollect, Buddha saw four sights. He was never allowed to go out because when he was born, the astrologer told the king, Suddhodhan, that either he will be a great monk or a great king. Do not let him see suffering. So he was never allowed to go out. And when he was married and he had a 1-year-old kid and Rahul, then king said, okay, now he's all right and let him go out. He went out and you recollect, he saw a dead man, a sick man, old man, and a monk. And he asked his Sarathi, the charioteer. He could not answer why. Came back and asked many. And notice, just think, you and I are seeing these sights almost every day. Haven't we seen a monk? Haven't we seen a dead man? Haven't we seen a very sick going to die? Haven't we seen a beggar? We have seen suffering. How many do you see who really react like this? And notice what today and what our today understanding is that most of the ancient sages, whether men or women, they were great women, Maitri, Gargi, etc., great lady rishis during the Vedic time. But each one of them has said, you do not have to run off to the mountain Himalaya or become a cave dweller or become a monk. You do not have to become a monk. But what you can do is develop characteristics of dispassionate detachment, of monk-like. You are a grihi, but your desires, your expectations are going away. Meaning, I don't want anything in the sense I don't want to grab this for me and grab that for me. And in Shankaracharya is talking, Bharyata, I want to give it to my wife, I want to give it to my son. This is for myself, this is for my wife, this is for my son. He said, no grabbing. Develop that monk-like detachment. Yet you continue to perform. Remember the ocean and the wave? Thousands of waves. California beach or Goa beach or an Indian Ocean, Trivandrum beach. Thousands of waves. Each one of the wave is different from each other. You and I, each one of us are different. Why? Name, form, and action. Nama, Rupa, Bhavahara. We are different. But Robin Ghosh wave is having fun. And he's playing around with his friends. And one of his friends says, hey, can you see that line, Robin? I said, yeah, I can see that line. What is that line? He said, it's called a shoreline. I said, yeah, it appears we are going towards it. What happens there once we reach there? My friend says, you're not going to be Robin Ghosh wave anymore. I said, really? What will I become? He said, you will become water. I said, what is water? He said, you are water. I said, I don't believe you. I'm a wave. He said, no, you're going to die there. I said, shut up. I don't believe you. Why should I die? Have you realized you and I keep on reflecting, thinking, knowing, seeing people, but we don't think I'm going to die. The friend of mine goes away saying, what a monkey, let me not play with him. Another friend comes in and he's a Vedanta friend. I like him. He's very calm, always cheerful, happy. He said, hey, Robin goes, why is this face so small? Why are you looking sad? I said, that monkey friend of mine told me just now that line. I'm going to go there and I'm going to die there and I will not be wave anymore. He said, that is true. My friend tells me it is true. Now it's my turn to believe. I wasn't believing the earlier one, I was arguing with. Here I said, really? He said, yes, it is true. I said, but he said, I'm going to become water. He said, it is true. I said, where is water? I'm a wave. He says, you touch yourself, top, bottom, side, left side, right side, inside. You are water. I said, really? But listen, I don't want to die. He said, that's possible. I said, really? What do I have to do? He said, become still, become silent. Have you noticed? Waves are always moving, roaring, lot of noise, and slamming onto the rocks and onto the beaches. He said, become still and become silent. Imagine a wave, any wave, including Robin goes, if you suddenly become silent and still, what happens? There are no waves. The moment the wave becomes silent and still, notice what happens to the wave. It becomes the water. Not only that, the depth of the ocean as a wave, I didn't have. I only had the depth of the wave right on the top. And I was happy being a surface monger. Now becoming silent, I have the depth of the ocean. Not only that, third, richness. I have the entire ocean and its richness with me. How? I am the ocean now. Can you discriminate? This part is the Robin Goes wave, which used to be wave. Now it is ocean. You can't. I mix with the entire ocean. Now you and I, to understand what we are taking up, and Buddha is talking about, what Paramahansa, what Vivekananda talked in 1893, 11th of September, to the World Religion Conference in Chicago, International Hall of Religion. I have been blessed to be there and sit there for a while. What the message? We have to find that water-like characteristic within us. Then we know all the waves are water. And what we talked about last 2 Sundays, that oneness, which is removal of all suffering, is the Vedantic message. Removal of all suffering is oneness. How can I be one when we are different ways and we got body and name and religion and country and language and men and women and boys and girls and youngsters and old timers? How can we be same? That's only difference in the body and the name and the form. But once we know that the water curve is content like water, and what is that for you and me? Is the consciousness. Buddha is saying nirvana. Nirvana. Understand. So Buddha, when he attained his nirvana and he was sitting under the tree, one shepherd boy, he was passing by and seeing him glowing, silently sitting, came and asked him, think, you and I will say, who are you? The shepherd boy didn't say. He said, what are you? What? And Buddha just smiled. He didn't say anything. He said, are you a monk? Buddha said, no. He said, are you a traveler? And are you so-and-so? He asked him 2-3 questions. And he asked him, are you an angel? Buddha shook his head and he said, no, I am the awakened one. And that's what we are praying first thing in the beginning, is be the awakened one. Know who we are. We take on through this process of your own suffering and helping others, you transform yourself. One can only do the best when the sea of suffering, the best that you can, whatever it is you're facing because of whatever we have done. Swami Vivekananda is saying, not a single blow comes to our life which is undeserved. Meaning every blow that we face and face it, it is well deserved. So defeat your suffering by opening up and facing it. The moment you face it, you will see the cessation of all comes in suffering from our real nature. Our real nature is that which makes you see and hear right now. You say, I see and hear with my eyes and ears and touch and taste and smell. I experience the world. But you can't do that if you were not conscious. If you were unconscious, there are different kinds of sufferings. But if you're unconscious, sufferings will just cannot be experienced. Can you experience when you're in coma? Can you hear? Can you see? No, you're anesthetized and made unconscious before an operation. So we are talking about there are, as per Buddha, imagine yourself as an archer. You've been hit by an arrow. Imagine the strike of an arrow, Buddha's principle, the pain and the shock, the suffering. He said, but that is not much. But 90% of the suffering happens when a second arrow comes and hits you. And this second arrow is not an arrow shot again, but the second arrow is my anticipation of the pain. Like, supposing I have a knee pain or a back pain. And I have it generally if I walk a little bit, or if I sit down for meditation, or my knee pain, I can't sit down. And as I'm going to sit down or bend down, I know my knee pain and the back pain will start. Anticipation of that pain as I'm starting the activity is the second arrow. Buddha says, I cannot do much about the first arrow. That's because of what you have done. But I can show to you how the second arrow can be removed. This is a beautiful simile of, you all know about Stephen Hawking. He was absolutely vegetable on a wheelchair. But look at his brilliant mind. He was crippled, but not in his mind. Crippled in his body. The body and the mind. You say then we are our mind? In that case, question will come to your mind. Which mind? The baby's mind? The little older toddler's mind? 8, 9, 10 years old mind? Teenager's mind? Adult's mind? 20, 30, 50 years old mind? A happy mind, a sad mind, a suffering mind, or a joyful mind? Angry mind, always smiling mind? Which mind? You say all of them cannot be, because mind is changing. Whereas I am always constant. I was constant in my dream. When I woke up, the dream body, dream mind is gone. I am again myself. From deep sleep, I wake up. And I say, what a lovely sleep I had. How did I know that? That consciousness. So remember our lessons, understanding with the Mandukya Upanishad. Jagrat state, we experience 4 states. Jagrat, awaken. Swapna, dream state. Sushupti, deep sleep state. And Turiya, the 4th state. Turiya means 4th in Sanskrit. Actually, we are, that Turiya is representing through the deep sleep, the dream state, and the awakened state. We'll not get onto that more now. The other one, you all must have seen this very famous movie, Arthur Ashe, Nobel Prize winner. John Nash, powerful mind, but very schizophrenic. And yet he went on to win. And similarly, there are lots. Understanding that there are that pain, the doctors were doing a research Just like the Buddha's second arrow and the first arrow, they explained there are three circles. The first circle is a very small circle, which is nothing else but that first arrow, which you can't do much, which is the cause of actual pain, some physical pain, some social reason. This is the second arrow is the one with the bigger circle, social embarrassment, anticipation. When that happens, I know I cannot go out, I cannot face people, I am totally crippled with my pain. Those, and the third arrow is when that happens, how badly I react and how I'm totally unavailable to the society. With those imagination, the which the doctor is talking about, we get on to this removal of these pains with a powerful concept, which I have been experiencing for literally, some of you may not be knowing, I'm 78 plus, 79 plus now. And decades and decades and decades, the power of your words and your thoughts, which you talk, which you say. Some of you have heard about Joseph Murphy's power of your subconscious mind, in which you are utilizing that subconscious mind. Yes, you are utilizing it with the word, with the thought. But that is only working with your, those of you recollect the chart we have shared again and again, the consciousness, like the sun, lighting up the mind, and that lit up part is called the reflective consciousness. And that reflective consciousness is the subconscious mind, which in turn gathers the data from the brain, and brain through the neurons, through the optic nerve for, let's say, seeing a rose or a mountain or a dolphin or a dog. It light reflects from the object and comes, enters to the cornea, sends a tiny electrical spark of a message through the optical nerve, through the brain neurons. And how, even today, the Westerners do not know, how does the brain pass that message of the tiny electrical spark of a message to the mind? Brain to the mind connection is not yet understood by the Westerner. But Vedanta talks about thousands of years. And he says it is because of the light. So you are that light. Tat Tvam Asi. Dear devotees, dear bhaktas, dear dynamic seekers and inquirers. You are that light. You and I have to create that monk-like creature, being in the family, the being of wave in the ocean. But now I know, I'm enlightened now. I know it. I just know it. Like I know I'm a girl or a boy. I know it now. What? All waves and the ocean and the bubbles and the froth are nothing else but water. So the statement that the waves and ocean have water in it is not correct. Waves have water in it is not correct. You will say, come on, sir, of course it is so. I said, no. Remember the famous example, the glass with the water. I can separate the water and separate the glass. In other words, glass with the water becomes two objects, glass and the water. Did I spill anything? Okay. Two objects. Can I take the water away from the ocean? Will the ocean remain then? Can I take it away from the waves? Will the waves survive? No, water alone is the essential. Similarly, dear devotees, dynamic seekers, I love you to ask questions, challenge, and understand it. That as consciousness, you are like the light. You're falling on that filth on the road. You're falling on that filth, but not getting dirty. You're falling on that holy water in the river Ganges, but you are not becoming holy. You are that light. You're falling on that pitcher of wine, but you're not getting drunk. You are that light. You are like that water in the ocean and the wave. You know all the waves are same water. That is called oneness. No separation with body, language, nationality, color, creed. And this is what the International Baccalaureate IB, with the Vedanta, what we're doing, and with you and I, bringing in Vedanta with the Kriya Yoga, practicing Kriya, knowing Vedanta. Couple both. Look at the result, what the children are doing, what you and I are doing. And you devotees, some of you are so far, so rapidly, so beautifully ahead. I feel jealous. I wish I had somebody coming and talking to me all this. It's a lot of hard work and tenacity that we went ahead and got it. Let's get on to these words. Why has God given us these words? Some other time I'll talk to you about Vedantic understanding of the words. When did words come? Question for you. When did time start? I remember as a teenager, I used to ask, monks used to come to our home. My mother, father, my brother, they were all very fond of monks. They used to come to our home. I had asked this question a couple of times to a couple of monks. When did time start? What was there before the time? And why did it start? Like that. And either they answered, I didn't understand, or they didn't answer, and I went away with the feeling they don't know the answer. Today, I know. We will share it once together. These words are actually your reality. It's your reality. You sow onto the soil what fruit you're going to have tomorrow. So what you talk today, what you do in your goal setting, what you think, and what you visualize. Visualize the end before you start. Let's say you're starting a business. You don't think about business making you bankrupt. You don't think about what if it closes down, all my investment will be lost. Then you will not start it. You don't get married thinking, what about divorce? You don't go ahead and start to plan a baby thinking, what if the baby dies? No. You say, I'm creating. What do you say? I'm creating a giant of a soul through me who's going to bring about a change in the world and nothing else. By the way, please now, negative thoughts because of our uprising, the way we have grown up, is going to come to you. The moment it comes, let's say you're going to Mumbai, driving down, and you see that big signboard, tire burst cause injury to life. There, you must have seen that signboard, quite a few of them. Don't let it demean you. Don't let it say, oh my God, what happens if I get a tire burst, slow down or something like that. No, you say, what do you do now? Negative thought has come. What do? Replace it with a powerful positive thought. My car, my family, and everybody who's traveling with me at this point of time on this highway is protected by the divine grace of Babaji, my Param Guru, my Guru Deva, Paramahansa Yogananda Yukteswar Giri Lahiri Mahasaya, my Guru Deva Swami Vivekananda, Holy Mother, and Paramahansa Ramakrishna, and Babaji and the Divine Mother, Krishna, Allah, whatever name you like to. I like a cocoon around me. We will be untouched, unscathed. Even a scratch will not come. You replace it with immediately a positive thought. That's how I utilize those words are like seeds. If you want to eat apple, you have to plant apple seeds. If you're going to plant orange seeds, you will be getting oranges to eat, not apples. And oranges are good. And you can't plant cacti or poison ivy or mushroom seed and expect to eat oranges or apples. So what you plant is what you get. That becomes reality as you say, as your faith goes in. You are actually, with your words, prophesying your future. Keep prophesying it. Don't keep talking about it unless it is someone of equal nature, of your faith, someone like you and me, talk to your colleagues, your devoted friends, and certainly they will. You prophesy your future. You bless your future instead of cursing it. So the life will move in the direction of your word. You know, notice this example. You don't get into the car on a Sunday morning and going to start and look at your mother or father or husband or wife and say, where are we going? You don't. You've already planned it. You thought about it. You put the words into it. I'm going to Mumbai. And mark you, I'm going to Mumbai is not adequate. You say, I'm going to Mumbai airport. Not adequate. Mumbai airport is not adequate. No. Say, I'm going to Mumbai International Airport. And I'm going to the gate D for receiving or for seeing of so and so. You prophecy, I'm going to Taj Land's End for my lunch with my friend and brothers who are joining me there and my friends, cool friends. Plant the right seed and sow what you want to see. Remove this, I can't do it. Can you see the scissor here? Just remove that apostrophe and the T. Anything comes on your way, I can. Notice one thing. If you cut an apple, you can count how many seeds are there, isn't it? Anybody can do that. But can you tell me, you can tell me how many seeds are there in an apple. Can you tell me how many apples will be there in one seed? Just look at it. This is the road which you're taking. I'm going to Land's End International Airport, Gate D. You are setting. You already know. So the path your words are setting for your life to go ahead. You can't think about, talk about, or discuss about problems and miseries and defeat and expect to be victorious. To be victorious, this is why we named our school as Victorious Kids Educate, because children are trained to be victorious. How? By setting it, by talking it, by painting that picture, by yourself, by the ambience. There's a beautiful statement by Dr. Neil Harvey, a neurophysician. He goes ahead and says, being gifted is primarily dependent onto the ambience, in which ambience the being gifted child is being grown up. And by the current definition, he goes on to say, by the current definition, the level of intelligence can be created by every child. And that's what we are following. So your mouth, if it is poor, you have a poor life. You have a victorious, not a bragging mouth, okay? That's a difference. Simply know what I speak, I stand. I can make it as I talk about it, as I stand it. Scriptures in Bible, in Matthew chapter 6, it goes ahead and tells that we can bless our life or we can curse our life just by thinking negative. Have you noticed many people say, you know, my father had Alzheimer's, my grandfather had diabetes, and I hope I don't get it. You're actually already saying that I'm going to get it. Stop cursing your future. It's the message of today's discussion. Your enemy does not defeat you. You defeat yourself. So start blessing your life. Call yourself, I'm healthy, I'm strong, I'm growing younger day by day, not I'm getting older day by day. You'll be surprised. Sometimes back, about 10, 12, 15 years back, I don't recollect. One day, something fell from my pocket. I would be that time about 60, 65, something like that. Okay, 60, 65. I tried to bend down and I found a little funny feeling, stress at the bottom of the spine. I got up and I said, oh, what my mind said, that mind which has been blamed and all the time brainwashed and mind washed by the television and the people's talk, aging. Mind said, oh, you're monkey, you're aging. I said, I is who? That consciousness, that water. I said, shut up, I'll show it to you. I do exercise, and through that beautiful Babaji Kriya exercises, I have no shortage. Actually, day before yesterday, from my pocket, and in fact, it is here only in my pocket right now, this fell down, the earphone. As it fell, I was surrounded at that time by 2, 3 young gentlemen. They tried to bend down, and I was beautifully surprised to see I bent down faster and picked it up faster than them. So you prophesy your future, bless, calling yourself strong, talented, beautiful, young, and going ahead. So your life would not be filled with disappointment. You send an invitation to bad things when you talk about bad things. You send good things. Again, Matthew 6 chapter Bible is talking about you are snared with the words of your mouth. The exact words. You are snared, like you snare a bird, snare an animal, catch them with a net. They say you are snared by the words of your mouth. It is written down by Jesus Christ in the Bible. So words can trip you, can keep you also from reaching your potential. Negative thoughts, don't allow it. When it will come. It's certainly going to come. But wipe it off. Immediately replace it with, I cannot have a tire burst because I'm protected. Give an example. Bangalore, flood. Remember, everything was flooded. I happened to be in the Bangalore at that time in NG Roads. Got up in the morning to catch the flight. We had a workshop of Bayabi. And as we were starting, just before starting, suddenly the hotel keeper said, sir, all the roads are flooded. I said, you're a champion. You should have told me 2 hours ago. I would have started 2 hours before. I'm starting now 3 hours before departure. I would have started 5 hours before. Now I can't do anything. I said, okay, let's start. As we started, I said, everybody is going through NG Road. So let's not go through that. Road will be blocked. Let's go through the Old Madras Road. And you know what? The power of the beauty of the thing, everybody thought of the same thing as I thought, and everybody landed up in Old Madras Road. And it was packed with cars and flood water. And I had 2 of the colleagues. One of them had to catch a flight that night. This is the morning time. Flight was at, I think, 9:30 or 9:45. It was Kingfisher flight. I just planted. I told them, I said, listen, stop worrying. I don't know how. I said, I don't know how. You can say it. I don't know how, but we are divinely blessed. We are protected. We are going to be there on time. So don't talk about the problem. Talk to the problem. Just to the problem. I talked about it and I kept praying also on the way. Come on, God, come on, Divine Mother, Babaji, make sure. We landed up at the airport. We're about 45 minutes late from the arrival time. As we went, as I was getting out of the car, the Kingfisher, you remember yellow-orange jacket? 2, 3 guys came charging and said, Kingfisher? I said, yes. He said, sir, don't worry. Flight is delayed by 2 hours. There you are. So don't talk about the problem, talk to the problem. 2 voices are always there in our head. One is the voices of faith. You are protected. You are divinely blessed. You are an yogi. You are a Vedantist. The other is the voice of defeat. Come on. All that is only bookish knowledge. It is not real. Reality is, let's face this body and the mind and the pain. Let us not be ignorant is my appeal to you. Don't become multiple instead of driving towards oneness. Become one. And 2 things only. Entire Vedanta, if I have to put it into 2 sentences, I'll tell you entire Vedanta in 1 sentence also after this. 2 sentences. Oneness is the first sentence. Only oneness. And second sentence, express that divinity from within in every walk of life. That divinity, we are caring, we are loving, we are protective, we're always taking care of the other people. We love to give things. We love to serve people. We love to smile. So listen to the voice of faith, not the voice of defeat. Goliath and David. You heard about this famous story. You know what? Goliath was 10 feet tall and David was small. And look at the picture. This is a very famous story. Read it. It's fantastic. Goliath was huge, muscular, well-trained, well-skilled. David was small. Everybody. And what was the situation? Both the armies said, okay, we will not kill everybody. You choose one and we choose one. And they will fight. And if whoever wins, the whole army will accept winner's role, and the other army will accept defeat just by one person fighting. David was chosen, small guy. And when they saw Goliath, they said, my God, such a huge guy. And they asked David, what are you going to fight with? Goliath had a huge spear. You can see from the picture. David had just a slingshot. And they said, what are you going to do? Such a huge guy. You know what David said? How can I miss him? Such a big target. And he hit him on the head with that stone, huge stone. He slung it. You must have seen in those days, they used to fight. It went and hit him straight on the head, and Goliath was down and David won. Have that kind of power in the future with your power. Look at the mountain. You can be defeated by the mountain by looking at the size. And you talk to the mountain, like talk to the problem, not talk about the problem, not talk about the mountain, how difficult it is, how to climb. There is strong wind and there is very cold and there is, no. Talk to the mountain and say, you think you are a big mountain? I can cross anything because I'm an yogi. I'm a Vedantist. I am blessed by Babaji, by my Param Gurus and by Divine Mother. I am the Brahman. The mountain, you would become a molehill and cross it. Even an ant, step by step by step, can cross anything. Yes, remember the tortoise or the rabbit? So, whatever the mountains, or the hurdles of the suffering, of the sickness, poverty, loss of job, laying off problem you face in your life. Do not fear, do not intimidate it, do not get intimidated. Face it and say, I will rise up and I'm going to show you. Set your goals, write it down. Like I've given it to the boys and girls, you see, 56 or 45, dear parent. By the way, we should not, after we set the goal, keep on chasing them. Keep on talking to them. Now, just be silent. Let them talk to themselves. I never, after giving them goals, ask them, so are you following it? But every day declare one step towards the goal. Automatically, by seeing that picture I see today, our children are totally different. Hold on to one thing, truth, purity. Your words will grow into a huge tree. You know, the Californian redwood oak tree is 330 feet tall tree, the tallest tree in the world. And it goes from such a tiny seed, you can't even see it with your naked eye. And it's beautiful. You know, it's so huge tree, the tallest and the widest tree. Through the trunk of the tree, there are 8-lane track going up and down, 4+4 in California. This consciousness is that water. The enlightened person, he says, I am the witness of the pain in the body. I am not the body. There's a monk who was operated in Arogya Shala. They had these Arogya Shalas for the monk. And naturally, the body was in tremendous pain at night. You know, after operation, you want painkillers and things like that. This monk was tossing and turning, and there were brahmacharis who were attending to senior monk. And in the morning, throughout the night, they tried to help. And the new brahmacharis came, and old night brahmacharis went on to relax. The new brahmacharis came and said, Maharaj, Swamiji, you must have been in a lot of pain. He said, me? No, no, no. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I'm okay. They said, sir, but we heard whole night you didn't sleep and you had a lot of pain in the back and in the waist and the wound. He said, oh, you're saying that body. Yes, that body had pain. That body is not okay. That body is not okay. That body is not okay. This is what happens when you get enlightened. Your nature is that consciousness, that light. Falls on dirty thing, painful. Falls on that holy water is joy. Falls on that drunk is the samsara, is the picture of wine, good and bad. Have fun and also have a little bit of. Why are we affected with the things? Illumine with the beautiful reasons. So, asangha. Asangha is detachment. I say to myself many times through the day, especially during my breathing meditation time, morning and evening, asanga aham, asanga aham, asanga aham. I am detached. I am detached. I am detached. Punah, punah, punah. Asanga aham, asanga aham, asanga aham. I am detached. Those of you done Vedanta meditation with me, asanga asmin. We say that, start with that. Asmin is I am. I am detached. Sat Chit Ananda. Existence is me. Consciousness is me. Joy is me. Sat is existence, is truth, asanga, and consciousness. Chit and Ananda is joy. Be like the lotus. Water cannot touch it. Grows from a filthy water. But the mud cannot soil it. You are asanga. Tuck to yourself. Remember the snake and the rope? The rope is looking like a snake. Very famous Vedanta example. But the rope has not become poisonous. We shall talk more on this angle, a little more in the next sessions. We shall take away. So, one Jayate, one birth, we are born. Asti, Jayate, Asti, Vartate, and then Aparigrahate, we do not change. Aparikshyate, we are that constant and that consciousness. Let me tell you this little story, and with which I will finish up today's sessions. You know, this monkey, you and I, this monkey, if you can see this monkey, both of them, one is a caricature. By the way, this is called a monkey syndrome in the Western philosophy, and in the Vedanta. This is from Vedanta, they have taken it. What is the monkey syndrome? You know, there is this farmer who was alone. He didn't have wife or children or parent. And he used to go, and his vegetables and the fruits, whatever he used to have, this monkey would wait. As soon as the farmer goes, he comes down and he takes the fruit and vegetable and eats it up. The farmer tried his best to catch him, tried all he couldn't. Eventually, he went down to a great, what did we do in our days? Sages, monk, went to a wise monk. Monk told him, just like that jar on the left side or the jar on the right, he said, you put your bananas, the fruits and the vegetable inside, make sure the neck is very small. Nick said, neck is very small. Put one by one inside, not in a bunch. Then you need a big neck. Now, small neck. So he put it, he said, that's all. I have to cover it up, tie it with a cloth. He said, no, nothing. Leave it open. He said, really? The monkey has been watching like that from the tree, what the guy is doing. As the farmer leaves, the monkey jumps down and sees carefully the farmer is gone. He comes and he puts his hand inside. You see the hand inside? And now he's caught hold of the banana. Imagine anything. Here I'm showing the picture banana. And he's trying to take the fist out. The point is he's caught the banana. The banana and his fist. Hand can go in, but the moment you make it a fist, it will not come out. Plus it is holding the banana or the vegetable. It can't come out. Now just see, the monkey can easily let go the banana and run. The farmer comes, sees the monkey, comes chasing with a stick. Monkey let go and run. Monkey won't let go. Monkey is holding on to the banana, screaming. Jar is very heavy, he can't move it. And he's being beaten, he's being thrashed. You know what? You and I are like that. I know you might say you may be a monkey, I'm not. We all are. We all are holding in the monkey syndrome in the Western theory. It's not a banana, it's filled with money. And they're showing you holding the money and trying to pick it up, fist can't come out. So we are holding on to this samsara. And the moment monkey, let's go the banana, let's go the money, the EY of the money goes away. The tail of the monkey goes away and the monkey becomes MONK, Asanga, monk, become the monk. And this is what I mean by monk-like attitude. Jai Guru, I finished for the time and we are just about 6 minutes ahead. Please go ahead. Should you have any questions, you're welcome to ask.
Sir, I have 3 questions.
Yeah.
What happens to a group thought? Saying, assume there's a company, the leader is very positive about the outcome of the company, but 99% the employees are negative. So what happens to the outcome of a company, which is the outcome of a group thought? Okay, my second question is very related to the first question. How one person influence others with his or her positive thoughts? And my third question is completely unrelated. Isn't a positive thought a desire? And isn't desire the root cause of all sufferings?
Yes. Big question. You remind me, Rajiv, about, there was in one of the visits in Tibetan monks, huge giant monk. He was sitting as senior monk, and there were a lot of people going down, and they talk. Generally, Tibetan, they don't speak English. So I had a question. I asked him a question and about Vedanta. I asked him about, you're worshipping Buddha, and what is your opinion about the consciousness? He smiled. He was very plump and fat and big. He smiled, his eyes become very small. He said something very nice, Rajiv. And it was really very laughable, kind, and I like the way he handled it. He said, big question, no time. But don't worry, I'm not going to tell you big question, no time. So let's deal with the last one first, because the other two are connected with each other. So the last one is the positive thought. You see, positive thought need not be a desire. And if it is desire, as per Vedanta, like they're saying, you should be silent. But the mind is chattering all the time. How can I be silent? I'm saying, I'm sitting down I want to meditate, but mind is being bombarded with this doubt and that thought and that thought. I am breathing in, going in for meditation. I'm breathing in, and I'm counting Vedantic meditation. 1, 2, and then I'm saying, oh my God, what did I? Was it 5 or was it 6? And suddenly I'm thinking, what's cooking for breakfast? I haven't had aloo puri for some time. I hope I'm getting mind. It's you saying mind. No, no, no. Don't think about aloo puri. Come back to 6. You forgot? Okay, start with 1 again. Meaning, this is the chattering of the mind. So Vedanta is saying, now utilize that chattering by talking to God. Conversation with God. Talk to God. Have positive thoughts, but have such thoughts which are well-meaning for, not for you, not for me, myself, and you may say, my family, my son, my wife, my mother, my father, my people, for their pay, that is still mine. But you take the whole thing to say, for the betterment of the mass, for the people. You have that vision and have that desire towards no sickness to anyone. Let there be no shortage of money. I am working toward that. Whatever energy I pick up through my meditation and through my purity with living, I give it to you. Somebody will say, all you're giving it or holding something back? I said, no, give everything. Until and unless I empty my tank, how will I get more water in my tank? This is another theory. People say, you remember the rich dad, poor dad, save, have insurance. And rich dad is saying, spend it. If you earn $10 million, plan $12 million expenditure. Deepak Chopra said this. So the BBC London, who was interviewing, he said, you earn 10 and you spend 12? He said, yes, how will I earn $15 million otherwise tomorrow? So what do they say? Give everything what you've earned through your spiritual practices. Your tank is empty, and no, have the faith. There is no shortage in the supreme divine consciousness filling up my pitcher, filling up my tank. This is positive thought leading towards it. Second thing about the positive thought is your people are going to be skeptical. People are going to be doubtful. They're going to say, so when you know your faith and you believe in your faith, and you will be successful. And the moment they see, oh, he talked about it. We all had doubts. We thought, my God, how is it going to happen? And it happened. I'll give you 2 days before our final result, just now, 7th of July. And I was talking to the various people on the team. And when I said, so how many world toppers this time? And they were smiling and said, so we are praying. But the voice lacked total. Sharada and I, we just smiled and he said, just watch. Watch is going to happen. I had no doubts. I'll give another example. Recently, it is right now in the school. There's a young lady, 12 years married, no baby. And I've been telling, and Sharda has been guiding her a lot. She tried every possible process, didn't get a baby. Came to me one day and just, by the way, sad face and talking to me. I said, you monkey, I'll give you a little task. If you start doing it, start thinking it, just watch how it is going to change. He said, really, sir, I'm ready to do anything. I said, no, don't do it to get the baby. Do it because doing is good. Don't worry. The baby or the money or the job will come. Where can it go? Have that word that I'm doing it. I know my words cannot be wrong. It is setting the goal towards my target. It will come. Where can it go? And supposing I failed, supposing I didn't have a world topper, I said, so what? It doesn't mean my life is finished. This time it is not. Next time we'll have 6 of them. So I'm not intimidated if it didn't work out. But strangely, the faith And the power is not blind. It is constructed and it will happen when you know I am raising a sail. Divine grace is all the time there. How can it not take my sail and move me across quickly? So I told this lady, all I did, I gave her some of the things to translate it into, the speech to word. And I say, do this meditation and do this. And honestly, I forgot about it after telling. Whenever I met her, thought came to me, but I never asked her. I came to know from Shadaman about 2 weeks back. You know what, Rajiv? The champion ma'am is blessed with two babies, twin. And this is the second time it's happening with a twin. Earlier, it has happened with single baby when they didn't have any baby for a long time. And the first one has gone up to Canada. She was also blessed with one boy and a girl. So, you know, your faith is like a magnet. It's like that light. Like the potential of these so-called the other, I'm going into the first and the second question, are like that light bulb. They have the potential, but they're lying in the shop rack, lifeless. Why? But you buy that same bulb and you bring it and you plug it into the socket and switch it on, it's on. Meaning it has the potential of getting connected to that consciousness within. All we have to show it to them through various stories, examples, like we talk about the Vedantic tales, progressively, it keeps gently, I wouldn't use the word bombarding, but becoming aware, becoming conscious. I'm not this body. We are so strongly ingrained in this body and body and body and the name and the form. And I'm this appointment, I am this position, I am this status, I am this much money in the bank. This is not who we are. So what you have to do, the third point over here is very important. The pain from the body, from the suffering, given by Shankaracharya, explaining in the Vedanta, very simple. When you are enlightened, you're totally free from the suffering. That enlightenment is what? Follow all four yogas. If you can work, you're able-bodied through Karma Yoga. If you say, I love God, I love thinking about God, I love doing arati and agarbatti and pool and chandan, follow Bhakti Yoga. If you say, I love to meditate, and meditation is all the yogas have, I love to do it, I love to learn this Kriya Yoga, this such powerful thing, let me give this example to the others also, let them also learn the Kriya Yoga, Raja Yoga, follow Raja Yoga. And if you say, I'm an intellectual, I need to first understand. Everybody says, believe in God, believe in God, believe in the book, believe in the Quran, believe in the Bible and Bhagavad Gita. All right, okay, I would love to believe, but where is God? If God is there, can't I see God? Like Vivekananda said. So now in the Vedantic thing, there is all religion has big problem on proving God exists. It has been going on for thousands of years. But do we have any doubt that I exist? There is no doubt that I exist. The moment Sharaka was given this message by his father, Tat Tvamasi, and that is the one sentence in entire Vedanta. I said a little while ago, two sentences express that oneness and express the divinity from within. Two sentences in entire Vedanta. One sentence is Tat Tvamasi. You talk to them, show it to them. And as we are doing it, as you and I are proceeding it, we are also fellow traveler. You will see, you will suddenly experience that oneness. You will suddenly find that Western management principles coming into play, that care for them, look after their minimum wages, make sure they have their birthday celebration, their wedding, son's wedding, youngsters getting married, something. Small, small ways I'm looking after it from my side, showing we are one family and you are not separate. You have a separate body, separate name, form, but we are one. Tell me, what's your trouble? So what happened now? Western science also wise, they're getting energized. And the Eastern philosophy, firm, single faith, like the compass needle. Do whatever you like, go round and round and round and leave it. Compass needle come to the north and stick. Hold that compass needle with your Aham Brahmasmi. I am that Brahma. And work with it. It will be like that light will light up everyone. Yes, there may be some filth. Yes, there may be some drunkards, some unbelievable. So what? There are some who kind of like to be, mingle in the suffering. Slowly get them, talk to them. And time will change everything. See, babies are born truthful. They're not born liars. You and I become liar through the media, people, etc., etc. But you notice most people towards the end, they start to tell the truth. The truth we are, truth we shall be. In between we may be. I'm saying take care of this in between. Tell them the power of the truth. If you want your things and dreams to come true, tell them, be truthful, be kind and caring. It works. You want love, give love. See God in your wife. See God in your husband. See God in your children and the parent and your people. How can godly thing will not come to you? How can it be? It will be. Did I answer your questions?
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot. Yes, sir. Thank you a lot.
Okay, sure.
Sir, Achala here.
Yes, actually.
Sometimes when you speak the words, you don't know what you're speaking. Some words. So how do we stop the words to be stopped talking?
Yeah. Very simple, but a very good question. What you're talking about, the influence of the negative mind,
Yeah.
which is that called the devil, which is also wagging, and it's also called the faith or the power of the consciousness. Both are there in all of us till we become pure. So I'll give you two methodology. And answer to your last question also, after I answered your question, I got one more point. You remember how do we know that we are progressing? You asked this question. I don't forget.
Yeah.
By the way, I'll just answer that part of it first. If you are lying in a bed of flowers, beautiful fragrance, yeah?
Yeah.
But you're in deep sleep, totally almost unconscious. You don't know about it. And if people pick you up and put you into another better, beautiful, more fragrant flowers, you won't even know the difference because you are in deep sleep. So what do we have to do? Awaken ourselves. This is what Vivekananda meant, Uttishtata Jagrata. Chadaivati, Chadaivati. Stop not till the goal is reached. Have faith. If I'm taking this track to Mumbai, I have to reach Mumbai and my destination. I will. Have that simple understanding with you. As far as your talk is concerned. So first part of it, as we talked about the mind chattering, mind tends to chatter negative, tends to. It's the way the critical world we are growing up. So what do? Follow those 6 principles. Shata Sampatti. First is Viveka. Know what is real, what is not real. To biggest real, not real, we are not my body, I'm not my sickness and disease, I'm something else. Automatically, you will see sickness and disease will vanish and you will become something where you couldn't even believe. I used to use 1.75 specs. I just talked, I prayed. I don't use specs for the last 20, 24 years now. So same thing will happen to you. So first, that is 1. 2, use those words and thoughts always direct towards, like the compass needle, towards God, towards divinity, towards purity, towards kindness, towards love. 3, don't find fault with other people. The moment you find fault with other people, you are saying you are you, I am I. In other words, oneness is gone away. We are not one. We are right now very strongly embedded with my name and body and form and status and money. But we can at least act like one, think about one, and keep on knowing more, learning more towards oneness. How can it not work out? So give that instead of you are different, I'm different. So don't think fault of others. Second thing, this is viveka. Real, not real. Then vairag. Don't have to become a monk, but you can develop monk-like qualities, like the monkey with the monies E and Y. You become the monk. Meaning in the home, it doesn't mean I'm not going to cook, I'm not going to do, don't disturb me, you better look after your breakfast, I'm doing my meditation. Now, whatever you touch, I must make it perfect diamond, 24 karat, gold. Why? Because I touched it. I'm an yogi. I'm an aspiring Vedantist yogi. I'm a Vedantist. Whatever I touch, I'm washing my utensils. I must do it perfect. There's a monk, and very famous monk, Totapuri, Paramahansa Ramakrishna's guru. And he's a realized master. He's a Brahma Jnani. He used to meditate long hours. So one day, Paramahansa Ramakrishna asked him, you are already a Brahma Jnani. Why do you keep meditating? So he smiled. He didn't answer. In the morning, they used to go to the Ganges and take bath. And after bath, with the same Ganges mitti, I've seen this being done many a time in our own home and also many people. I used to live in the Ganges river next to it for a long time. They will take the same Ganga mitti and keep on rubbing it. Banaras also, they do it. And it becomes nice and shiny. So as it was shining, Paramahansa Ramakrishna was with him. And he said, your lota is shining. Why do you keep polishing it? He said, if I don't keep doing it, it will not keep shining. So what do you have to do? Keep practicing it. Keep thinking about it. Meditation too. So vairag, bring the detachment through your words. Then is shama. Shama is calmness of mind. Then dhamma, senses controlling. You felt like having a glass of wine. You felt like wine vritti has come up. You don't have to run and have that wine. If you go ahead, second time it's going to come again, same time, same day, similar kind of things will happen. So now dhamma, sense control, control it. Maybe coffee vritti has come up. Let's go and have barista or Starbucks coffee. I haven't gone to Phoenix Mall and all of a startup. No, I am giving it to coffee vritti. So dhamma. Uparati. Uparati is getting this power that you're getting it inwards, not outwards. We are going all outwards, whether schooling, colleging, learning, skills, doing things for other people. It's all out, out, out. No, money is out there, friend is out there, husband is out there, wife is out there. It's like that. Now, sure, out is important for the world around. Be with it with a monk-like, always with a smile, but also be always aware of the inner consciousness. In. Swami Vivekananda says, whatever richness you see out there is nothing compared to what you have in there. So that is uparati. Then samadhana. Samadhana is utilize all these facilities. There are many amongst our devotees right now, a few, who are chary about reading a book. No, you must read. Swadhyaya is one of the principles of ayama niyama. To follow ayama niyama, we have gone over 5 plus 5, those 10 principles. Yeah. Talk about it some other time if you want. But that study of your own mind, study of other giants' mind, book, scripture, listening, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasana. Can I repeat what he said? Then I have done correct Shravanam. Mananam, can I reflect on it and ask questions? That's why I keep telling, please ask questions. Many people stay quiet because they've just been there. And Nididhyasana, make it your own. So that vanilla ice cream taste you will never forget. Why? Because you made it on your own by eating it. Mango, Alfonso, you will never forget because he ate it. But Charles Law, Boyle's Law, Paradise Law, we forget it. So Rajiv will tell you how they were made in the American University, how they don't forget it. So, getting, then Shraddha, respect. If I want to learn cooking from you, I have to have respect that you're a great cook. I want to learn from you. If I want to learn German from someone, I have to have faith in the German book and the German professor. If I don't have Shraddha, I'm going to learn nothing. So have Shraddha. Who has put, let's say, the guru and the teacher, or the speaker and the listener? It's the divine grace. It the God alone has brought you and me to Vedanta. I didn't know anything about Vedanta 30, 40 years ago. And progressively, today we are taking session. And I notice with the divine grace, I'm not bad. I've become very good. And I, meaning this is not the name and the body and the form, but the consciousness is getting into tap into that infinite reserve. The other day, president of Ramakrishna Mission, I was telling him they're going to start a Vedanta university. And we are saying, sir, Sharda and me, Sharda wants to do a PhD. I said, Sharda and me, we would like to become one. And I want to study it with Sharda. So he smilingly, laughingly said, you don't need to study. You're already becoming one. How is it? How is he saying it? It is because we prayed to Mother Saraswati, Divine Mother, and started working at it. You start working at it. This answers also Rajiv's last three questions. Start
Thank you,
working
sir.
at it. Everything will happen. So, and then Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha. Don't give up. Samadhana, and keep on going on. Keep on going on. Again and again, again and again. Cycle operation. All right? If you
All right.
follow these
Thank you.
practices, holding on to the truth, how can it be it will not happen? Because you are the truth. You are that divine Tat Twamasi. How can it not be? I think we have finished 33. Shall
Thank
we
you,
call
sir.
it a day? Is there any other questions? You may write, you may send a thing, and let us pray for everyone. As I chant the Omkar, the presence of the Supreme Consciousness, Brahman, in everyone, may everyone be protected from all sickness and disease and poverty. May everyone be blessed with abundance, no shortage, that they can give it away to everyone, others, those who need around them. May everybody be blessed to take up this journey of oneness and be able to do it in this life alone. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Rub your palm gently and pray for the supreme divinity and the energy to come into the palm. Feel the tingling of the palm and the energy churning up of the entire session, the fall, and give it away, send it to everyone for healing, for power, for abundance of good health, kindness, truth, purity, and love and detachment. Jai Guru.